All right, let me get myself situated here. Hey, y'all. Y'all come on in. Yes, the coffee is just finished brewing. And it's time for Kitchen Table Talk. What's going on, everybody? It's me, His Majesty. You know, I got my morning crown on this morning. Good morning to everybody. Welcome to Kitchen Table Talk. Me and Joseph, we're gonna get together. We're gonna talk about some things. We have some coffee. You know, this is what we do in the morning. This is what me and Joseph do in the morning. We sit down in the kitchen and we just conversate about different things. We talk about topics of the day. We talk about all different types of things. So today we're gonna have Kitchen Table Talk. I'm just waiting for Joseph to come into the kitchen. He'll be here in a few minutes. Let me just get my coffee, child. I'm ready to have my coffee and everything. So with that being said, y'all just sit back, relax. Sit back and relax and enjoy the conversation. Yes, enjoy the conversation. Ooh, all right. Yes, the coffee is nice and piping hot. Yes, it is. It's just like hot tea. I might have to make me another pot. Because you know I love me some coffee, y'all. Y'all know I love me some coffee. Today, let me tell y'all what coffee I'm drinking today. Today we're drinking chock full of nuts. That's what we're drinking today. And this is the Donut Shop blend. And it's really good. It kind of has a very mild taste. It's not bold at all. It just has that taste that you would taste like if you would go to the corner store and get you a cup of coffee or something like that. That's really what it gives. So I got my sweet and low because y'all know I'm diabetic. I can't have sugar. So I got my sweet and low and my creamer right here. My half and half, yes. And I'm getting ready to have me a nice hot cup of coffee. I don't know what's taking Joseph so long, but he'll be here in a minute. But while we're waiting for Joseph, I'm gonna do a couple little hot topics and stuff like that. Y'all know Kanye West has gotten his performance was pulled from the Grammys. So you know Kanye was supposed to be performing at the Grammys this year, but he will not be performing at the Grammys because of some of the statements that he made about the Grammy host. So he will not be performing at the Grammys this year. And, you know, a lot of people are saying that Kanye needs counseling and, you know, they want somebody to counsel him and stuff like that. But let me just say that we're going to be talking about mental health this morning because that's what it's all about. You know, everybody says that, you know, Kanye needs to take care of his mental health issues. And that's what we're going to be talking about this morning. We're going to be talking about mental health this morning. And let me just say this. You know what? I'm going to wait until Joseph comes into the room to talk about that. But yes, Kanye is, he's not going to be performing at the Grammys this year. You know, I want to say thank you to you guys for supporting us. We got an enormous amount of views on our Bad Boys Club video that we did last night. I'm glad you guys enjoyed that. And I hope that you guys didn't come to the table just because we were talking about Andrew Caldwell. But even if so, we still welcome you. We still thank you. But we will hope that you would want to watch us for more than just Andrew Caldwell. Because we talk about more than just Andrew Caldwell. Oh, that's perfect. Yes, we talk about more than just Andrew Caldwell. So I'm glad that you guys enjoyed our commentary on the Bad Boys Club last night. That show was something else. You hear me? That show was a piece of work. I was like, whoo, child. Them boys be on there. They be fighting, you know. Now, listen, I ain't no punk. I'm not no fighter, but I'm not no punk, you know. I'm a person like, you know, you can say whatever you want to say to me. As long as you don't put your hands on me. Once you put your hands on me, we got an issue. But these brothers just be fighting for no reason whatsoever. If you say boo to them, they be ready to strap it up and they be ready to fight. But I mean, that's the essence of what young adults are like. That happens when you're young. Sometimes it happens when you're young and immature. Sometimes it just happens because that's just the type of person that you are. You like to fight, you know. So yes, the Bad Boys Club was a good show. Let me see what's going on here. Hey, Monica, what's going on, Melissa? Y'all, I'm squinting because I don't have my reading glasses on. These are my everyday glasses. So in order for me to read y'all comments, I have to squint and see, you know, who's saying what. Hey, Reese Cup, what's going on, Reese Cup? Hey, Monica's Views and News. What's going on, Monica? I like your new intro. You better work, girl. I love that new intro that you got on your channel. I just love it. Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry, y'all.
There go Joseph.
Stop. I had to make a little pit stop.
There go Joseph, y'all.
I apologize for being late.
Joseph still got on his night clothes and stuff.
I do. I just got off my dialysis machine, and I had to make a little pit stop.
Yeah.
Can y'all see me? Yeah, y'all can see me.
But yeah,
and we do listen to the people that watch us. That's why you seeing us now.
Yes, that's why you see us.
Y'all seem to want to see us.
Yes, there was somebody left a comment and said, why y'all don't never be on camera no more?
It was like the third one, and it was from different people.
Yes, it was like, why y'all don't ever be on camera no more? Because we're on a sabbatical. We supposed to be on a sabbatical. We supposed to be on vacation. We supposed to be, taking a leave of absence for a minute. That's why we ain't been on camera, y'all. And, of course, we got to go through metamorphosis, child. To get all this together, get all this mug together and stuff. Because, this is morning. This is the only reason why I'm letting y'all see me now. Because in the morning, people expect for you to look like this in the morning. But, yes, we're on camera.
Technically it's afternoon.
Yeah, technically it's this afternoon.
We just woke up.
Yeah. But anyway, I was saying thank you to the people for watching our show last night because we got an enormous amount of views.
Yes.
Yesterday, I was telling them thank you for that. And I was telling them I hope that they're not just watching us just because we talk about Andrew Cuomo, because we do more than just Andrew Cuomo.
Well, we got that good comment that they liked our commentary because it wasn't just about Andrew.
Yeah. So
and shout out to all the new subscribers because we got a whole bunch of new subscribers.
We sure do. I'm surprised at that.
Shout out to y'all. Thank you for joining. We hope you stay. We hope you like what we do.
So let's get into what we was talking about. I was talking about Kanye West. Kanye West just got his performance just got pulled from the Grammys because of some of the things that he said about the host, the guy that's going to host the Grammys. I don't know what the guy's name is, but it was just announced that Kanye's performance was pulled from the Grammys because of some of the things that he's been saying on IG.
Lisa, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Lisa, I was going to call you because I wanted to make sure you was okay because I know you was going to have surgery. I'm going to check in with you later today.
Oh.
Lisa.
Oh, okay.
Hey, BC Cup.
Yeah, so Kanye West's performance was poor, and everybody's saying that, Kanye needs to be counseled. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I want to talk about today, Joseph. I want to talk about mental health. And, guys, I know I always talk about mental health a lot. I talk about mental health a lot because it's so important these days. Like even you, Joseph, the other day, you just realized that you've been experiencing anxiety attacks, Yes. And that's all a part of mental health, too.
And that's a scary thing.
Yeah.
If you guys don't know what anxiety is, there's a whole video we made with someone that wrote a book about anxiety.
Oh, yeah.
Check it out because I never realized that I was having anxiety attacks until I realized it now because I was there. And I heard what she was saying and I was like, that kind of happens to me sometimes. Like, there's nothing wrong with me, but it feels like something's wrong with me. And it happened to me Saturday. And it was hard because it was my niece's sweet 16. So normally if it happens, I just stay in bed or just feel like something's wrong and it is what it is. But now I can identify it because I'm like, we was sitting here doing what we doing right now.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, Tramel, I feel like I'm a faint. Tramel, I got real scared. And I was like, I feel like I'm a faint. I feel like I'm going to pass out. And he was like, you have an anxiety attack. And it lasted like all day. And it was scary. But it was scary, but it was okay because I knew what it was. Because in my mind, it was like, oh, my blood pressure dropped. I checked my blood pressure. It was sky fucking high. So I'm like, okay, this ain't adding up. What the hell is wrong with me? But it was the anxiety. And I never realized that I get anxiety attacks. And if it wasn't for me listening to her talk about what she experienced and what she went through, I was just
and listening to your husband too.
No, and listening to you. You know what anxiety is.
I speak from experience. And a lot of people, and unbeknownst to you guys, you just got to look for the signs. Anxiety is something that all of us experience, but a lot of us experience an overwhelming amount of anxiety. Talk to your doctor, talk to your therapist, or talk to your doctor and let them know what you're going through. If you're experiencing things like heart palpitations, or if you're having shortness of breath, or you're having to sit down to just like collect yourself, you know what I'm saying? That's an anxiety attack. You're having an anxiety attack. You're having a panic attack. And sometimes, yes, like Joseph said, they can last sometime all day. There are things that you can do about it when you have them. Like sometimes you just have to sit down and you have to just like center yourself and collect your thoughts and just collect yourself and just put yourself in a better headspace. Sometimes that does work. Sometimes just sitting down and just catching your breath works. It works, and it's all a part of mental health. And
sometimes you just gotta push through it.
Yeah, sometimes you just gotta push through it.
Like I pushed through it, and it was hard. It was hard, and I had to drive for 1 hour. It was hard. Yeah. And Lisa, I'm glad your surgery went well. I'm gonna call you later today because me and your other brother, was talking yesterday, and that's when I thought about you. I said, wait a minute. I haven't heard from Lisa, and I knew you was having the surgery, but I didn't know when you was having the surgery. So I'm gonna call you later.
Yeah, I'm glad you had a good recovery too.
I'm gonna call you later and check on you.
Yeah. But anyway, getting back to mental health, guys, let me just say this. A lot of us still think mental health is taboo. And believe me when I say this, you have to get yourself out of that headspace because mental health is not taboo. Mental health is one of the most important things in life. It really is. If you are experiencing any type of mental health issues, if you're having depression issues, if you're experiencing things that have to do with PTSD, if you have, bipolar disorder, all these things, you have to talk to your doctor. You have to seek out therapy. I have bipolar disorder. I deal with depression. I deal with PTSD. And I also deal with agoraphobia at times. And so I know mental health. I'm like on the front line of mental health. I know it. I know it inside and out. I know it back and forth. I've experienced just about everything that has to do with mental health. And I'm telling you guys, if you don't seek out therapy, if you don't seek out help from a professional, then you're going to be, it's just going to be hard. And and this is let me just say this, your family can't help you. My husband can't help me. I have to do it myself. You have to want to do it yourself. That's why you have to go to the doctor and you have to get your diagnosis. And once you get your diagnosis, if medication is needed, then take the medication. If your doctor can give you tools to deal with what you need to deal with, then by all means, then go on ahead and do it. But nobody can't do it for you. You have to do it yourself. And Joseph, I'm dealing with a family member right now that has mental health issues, and this person does not want to deal with it. And it's the hardest thing. It's the hardest thing, Joseph, to deal with somebody that is experiencing mental health issues and they're not helping themselves.
Because they don't. But you see. Okay. First, I know I'm all over the place, but I'll just be thinking of things. Thank you to everybody who left me comments about my weight loss. Thank you for congratulating me Thank you. I appreciate all you guys. Mwah. But back to what Tramel said.
Got some donuts.
Right, something. But back to what Tramel said. I think, especially when you deal with older people, and I was listening to this last night with on Fox TGIF with Claudia, Funky Dineva, and what's his name? Al.
Yeah.
And Funky Dineva said this, and it's true.
What's that?
That especially with the older generation, we as Black people want to pray everything away.
Yes, yes.
And we're waiting on Jesus to come and fix it. And like he's like my grandmother always, she's waiting for her ship to come in, and she died, and that ship still ain't never to sail. Black people, especially older Black people, they have been conditioned to pray whatever it is away.
Yeah.
And prayer helps.
It does.
I'm not even gonna lie and sit here and say pray don't pray.
But it's not the end all be all.
Prayer is going to help you. Yeah.
It's not the end all be all.
But it ain't gonna fix it. And that's just real.
Right.
Prayer ain't fixing
prayer
nothing.
is a motivation. That's what it is.
Right.
It's a motivation.
It gives you the motivation to get up and do something about it. Like, I don't understand this. And my mom did this, and I swear my mother would probably be alive today. But again, the older generation, and she's praying. But when she got diagnosed with breast cancer, she said, God told her to sit still. Okay. Why would God tell you not to do nothing about it?
Right.
That was just in my mind. I said, so you don't think the devil could have said sit still? And you just confused that for God? Then when it was too late, because my mother had lived to the point where her breast looked like paper. Like her left breast looked like paper. Like it just was a mess. She would tell us how she stood in the shower and just shot blood out of her breast for like 30 minutes. And I said, what mental state was you in? I said, do you understand if I see blood shooting out of me like a fountain? That's not, what was you thinking? God is going to fix it. So for me, when I got diagnosed with kidney disease, the first thing I said was, no, I'm not doing it, because they was like, you don't have to be on dialysis. They gave me like all these pills. Okay, let's try that, because I'd rather be on the pills and maybe I could reverse whatever's wrong. I got worse, so it was just no choice. To the point where I couldn't breathe. I was rushed to the hospital. I went to work, because I was you know me, I'm a determined bitch.
Right.
And I was like, I gotta work. I need money. I can't. And I was at work. Every step I took, I felt like I was going to die because I could not breathe. The doctor called me and told me, go to the emergency room immediately. Can you breathe? So when the doctor just called me out of the blue and said, can you breathe? I'm like, how the fuck they know I can't breathe? Let me take my ass to emergency. I still wasn't going to go. I was going to go after work. My spirit said, bitch, go to the motherfucking emergency room. Luckily, my sister was off that day. She took me to the emergency room. And they told me that I needed they didn't know how to tell me. Because they left it up to the social worker, not the doctor.
Right.
She came in and she was like, I said, look, is this has to do with my kidneys? And she was like, yes. So I sat there. My sister left because she had to go take my niece to school. So I said, well, please come back because I was starving. I said, just bring me a sandwich. So she asked the doctors, could I have, like, my favorite from Quick Check. And they said, yeah, he can have that. So she said, okay, cool. So I sat there when she left out because there was really nothing social work to do.
Right.
I was waiting for the doctors to come back in, and I'm sitting there going, I grew up in church. So I'm like, if I do this, do I believe God? If I do this, do I trust that God is a healer? I mean, because if I put myself, God will heal me, and I'll be okay. Because now I'm fighting with what I know and science. And I sat there, and then my mother popped in my head, and I said, well, she believed and she's dead. I was like, I can't do that to Tracy. I can't put her through her brother being, and I think my mother was stupid, and I told her that. She thinks she made a stupid decision. I said, I can't do that to my sister twice in a row. Because it was like, bang, 4 years later, here I come. And my sister just finished taking care of my mom. And I'm like, well, really 7 years later. And bang, here I come on her shoulder.
Right.
And I'm like, I felt like, oh my God, I'm doing this to her again. Right. And my spirit said, dummy, you believe in God because He gave somebody the knowledge to make a machine.
That's right.
To keep you alive,
right.
Even though the body parts
right.
that He gave you failed.
Right.
So you are believing in God, believing that this is going to keep
right.
you alive and He's going to keep you
right.
through this.
Right. Right.
So as soon as they came in the room, I said, okay, so one of y'all doing the surgery to my arm and putting that thing in my chest, and he was like, oh, so you're going to do it? I said, you just told me I have stage 4, end stage renal failure. I said, end stage anything means that I'm laying here dying.
Right.
I ain't ready to die.
Right.
And he was like, okay, because there's people that don't want. I said, well, I ain't those people, honey.
Okay.
Sign me up, cut me open. Let's do
That's it.
What they was like, you left hand and the right
That's
hand.
It.
I said, I'm right here.
That's
they said,
it.
well, we doing your left arm. I said, okay. I said, could we do everything at once? Put the port in, do my arm. I said, because they wanted me to come back. I said, nope, I want to do everything now that I'm, because I know me. I would have went home and had a chance to think about it and probably would have changed my mind.
Right.
Do me now.
Right.
They kept me in the hospital a week. I didn't care. I was fine. I was not. If you would have known me then, you saw a whole different Joseph. And of course, I would have to say it was the best decision I ever made because I'd probably be dead right now if I didn't. So that's the problem with older people.
Right.
And that was a long story.
They want to pray everything away.
And I'm sorry it was a long story, but I wanted to just put you guys in the mindset that I was in because I'm talking from experience.
Right.
I'm not talking from just saying, oh, churches, this and that. No. I pray. Prayer was what got me through. Prayer is what gets me through my whole everyday life.
Right.
Because it's a struggle. Right. If you think being on dialysis and hooking yourself up to a machine every night, I don't want to do it. Tremel will tell you he yell at me sometimes because I don't do it. But prayer gets me through. Right. But I can't just sit there and rely on Jesus to fix it. Right. Because I'll be dead. Right. And that's the problem with older people. And that's why they don't do nothing about their mental health. That's why they don't go to the doctor. That's why they don't, because they're praying for a miracle that ain't going to happen. Right.
And see, in our community, we've been raised to think that if you go and see a therapist, you crazy. You ain't crazy just because you go to see a therapist. If you're depressed, that's not crazy.
No.
If you're experiencing PTSD, which is post-traumatic stress disorder, you're not crazy. You know what I'm saying? Listen, I would rather take care of my mental health and do the things that I need to do to function in this world and be called crazy than to do absolutely nothing at all. See, because when you do absolutely nothing at all, Joseph, what ends up happening is that you put so much pain and strife on your soul, on your heart, your spirit, everything. You can't imagine. I remember those days when people would tell me to go, like I had from my friend, the guy I was dating, he was like, Tremel, you need to go see a therapist because he had bipolar disorder. He was like, Tremel, you need to go see a therapist. I was like, I ain't going to see no fucking therapist. Ain't nothing wrong with me. I ain't crazy. But I remember my life being so tumultuous at that time. I was always fighting. I was always yelling and screaming. I would watch TV. I would see a commercial and just start crying for no reason whatsoever. And my friend would be like, Tremel, what did you cry for? I don't know. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? And so my life was in such turmoil at that time before I went to go seek out therapy. And I'm telling you, once I sought out therapy, and once the doctor came in and he said, Tremel, you have A, B, C, D, and this is what we can do to help you manage it. I'm telling you guys,
It's a freeing
I'm
feeling.
telling you, it was one of the most freeing things for me, and it helped me out so much. Now it's been a journey.
I didn't need nobody. It's been a journey to go see a therapist. I just remember I was laying in my bed crying because I had made the same mistake again, and I did not understand. I put a drop in here to make it harder for me, please. I did not. I was laying in my bed crying, and I remember I was crying in my bed. Think that's good. And I just was like, why? I don't understand. Why do I keep doing the same thing over and over and over and over again? And I said, you know what? I'm going to see. Somebody got to help me. Somebody got to help me figure this out because I was tired. Like, I was tired. I was tired. I kept promising myself over and over and over and over and over that I wasn't going to do it again. I'm not going to do this again. I'm going to change. It's going to be different. And once again, I did it again. And I said, you know what? I looked at the back of my card, my insurance card. I called. I asked them, was therapy part of my thing? They said yes. What did I want it for? I told them I went to the therapist. I sat on the couch. And she said, well, talk to me. So I told her why I was there. I told her what the problem was. And she looked at me and she said, you know what? You are the first person to ever sit on this couch that actually knows what's wrong. But you just can't figure out how to fix it. She said, and I'm going to help you fix it. And I swear that woman, when I tell you she helped me fix it, and it was the absolute, I think it's Brittany in the White House. I think it was the most absolute best thing I ever did in my life. Because she was actually able to help me fix it. And if I wouldn't have went to her, I promise you I'd be still making the same mistake today. I would still be doing the same thing over and over and over. Because me trying to fix it myself, it just wasn't happening. I didn't know how to fix it. I thought I did. I kept saying it's fixed, it's going to change, it's different. And, it was weird because I knew why I was doing what I did, but I just didn't know how to stop it. Like, I just really didn't know how to stop it. I kept saying, oh, it's going to stop, I'm going to stop, turn off the oven, I'm going to stop. And it just never stopped until I went to see her. A lot of things she told me, I ain't going to lie, I kind of gagged at some of it. Because some of it was embarrassing. Some of it was very, are you serious right now? How could I, it was very, very, it was things I would have never thought of, but things that were kind of embarrassing at the same time. To even think that my mindset would be in that space based on what happened to me. But it was a really, really, really good thing. Now, when my mom died and I went to therapy, honey, I confused the therapist. That's just because she wasn't a good therapist. Like, every time I went, she was like, well, next time we're going to do this. Well, I was going to do this, but since you said that, because when my mom died, I was very angry. I was really angry. And I wanted to fight. And when my sister told me she wanted to fight, she's not a fighter like that. And I said I need to go back to therapy.
Well, your sister was fighting at the time.
No, we weren't fighting. Tracy was like wanting to fight people in the street.
Oh,
and I was the same way.
Tracy?
I would go out in the street and like try to pick a fight. So when she told me she was doing that, I said, Tracy, we're angry.
Wow.
And she was like, Joe, I'm really angry. I said, I'm angry too. And she said, because she had told me a situation, I believe. She had went to McDonald's, and my niece was only like 20 years old at the time. And this old lady was saying something about Deja, how she was holding her or something. She said, bitch, mind your fucking business. And that ain't true at all, especially to an old lady. And she said the lady looked at her like she was crazy. She said, bitch, listen, my motherfucking child, don't tell me what the fuck to do. And Tracy said she wouldn't argue back. She said, no matter what I said to her, I said, Tracy, I'm doing the same thing. I'm like going in the street. I said, as soon as somebody look at me the wrong way, it's like I want them to buck up so I could just punch them in their fucking face.
Right.
I said, we're angry and we need to get help.
Right.
So I went to therapy. That therapist ain't helped me with shit. So that's why I stayed in mourning over what you want to say
years
for like years because I never really got the help I was looking for, and I didn't get the help I was looking for until I lived with her and both of us started fighting each other.
Right.
And then verbally, we were both saying stuff that basically had to do with my mom. And then we realized that both of us were still holding on to that.
Right.
And that's when we were able to let go. And I mean, after that, me and my sister, you see our relationship.
Yeah, it's great. It's great.
Our relationship is great.
It's beautiful.
And me and Tracy didn't have a relationship like that before.
Yeah, yeah. Your relationship with your sister is like my relationship with my sister. It was
very toxic.
Toxic, yeah.
It was we were holding on to things that really just didn't make sense.
Yeah.
And, you know, I'm upset that we had to go through the bad side of it.
But sometimes you do joke.
But the bad brought out the good. And what I really hate is that my niece had to see that.
See, but the bad also brings out, like with me and my sister, I realized how much my sister really, really loved me. She like my sister Kelly, she loves me 100, like 100. You know, she like if somebody your sister, she just like you, like you see how your sister get when she thinks that you're upset, she be trying to fix it. And my sister does the same thing. That love, that type of love is like you can't. It's so unspeakable.
But
it's
before
like,
you have that understanding, it don't look that way.
It don't. It don't.
And that's
because you hate that person. You want to fucking. You want to kill her. Like I want to choke my sister.
She didn't realize but at the same how much time, I loved her.
I didn't realize.
And I didn't realize how much she loved me. So it doesn't look like love. It looks like a control thing. Right. Like you're not my mother.
Or it looks like I'm stabbing you. You gonna stab me? I'm gonna stab you back. That's what it looks like.
That until you have that fallout, and then y'all come to that meeting like, why are we doing this?
And you know what? I'm glad you said something about mourning, y'all. And let me just say this: when I went to therapy, my father had been dead for My father had been dead for about 20 years. I didn't even realize I was still mourning the death of my father. Just like you said you had been mourning 7 years later. Your mother had passed away, and you were still mourning the death of her. You still had not dealt with that, you know, that loss, you know. And a lot of us, unbeknownst to you, you could be mourning the death of a loved one, someone that was close to you, and not even realizing it. That's why you have to go and take care of your mental health, people. Go and take care of it. I don't care what you have to do. If you got to run to the doctor, talk to your doctor.
And you're not going to realize it.
If you don't want to talk to a therapist, talk to your doctor. Let your doctor know what you're going through. Let them know, you know, what you're going through emotionally. Let them know because mental health not only affects you emotionally, it affects you physically too. Health-wise, you have pain when you're mourning, or when you're upset, and when you're angry, when you're sad, you experience pain.
And you're not gonna realize it, because I did not realize it until I was living with my sister, and her and my brother-in-law sat me down one day and said, "Who are you?" And I said, "What are you talking about?" And they was like, "What? You don't do nothing. You just sit on the couch in the corner on your phone." And they was pointing out to me, and I just started breaking down crying.
Right.
And they was like, "Don't cry. It's not." I said, "No." I said,
shout out to my brother-in-law.
You don't understand. Because I lived by myself. So up until I moved in with my sister, that was my life.
Right.
And I was so into it that I didn't realize that, bitch, you're just alive. You're not living no more. Because everybody knows I lived, honey. I was out partying, going to the clubs, having a drink.
That was me.
Even if I didn't go to the club, I'd be home.
That was me.
Up some little drinks.
That was me.
With some pretzels and listening to my music and entertaining people and having people over. All that stopped. It was just me by myself with my dogs watching TV.
Yeah.
I was so into that I didn't pay attention to what I was doing.
Right.
So for somebody else to see it and call me out on it, it made me realize, bitch, what are you doing? Like, they're right. And that's why I started crying, because I realized, like, I wanted to say, I miss my mommy. Like, I really wanted to grab my sister and hug her and say, I miss my mommy.
Y'all, this is just the most amazing cornbread that Joseph made last night. Look at that.
But I just, I didn't recognize it because I was so, y'all, you don't understand. Mm-hmm. You get so into your routine that you don't recognize that something's changing or something changed until somebody around you says, hey, what's going on? You different. And if you acknowledge it, because see, I could have denied it and just say, oh, well, I don't feel good. Because, that was, I hadn't started dialysis yet. Right. So I was really like sluggish and feeling bad and what have you, looking bad. And I could have just said anything. But I embraced it because I realized they're right. Like, who the fuck am I? Right. I didn't know who I was anymore. Like, y'all don't understand. When my mother died, I wish I would have had a kid. I wish me and Tremel would have been married, because that would have probably took me out of that mindset. Right. But I was a mama's boy in every sense of the word. Every sense of the word. Yeah. And it was like the most traumatic thing. Like, I tell people now, there's nothing you can do to me. And Tremel will tell you, because Tremel, when we get argued, Tremel will say some evil shit to me. I ain't gonna lie. And he sees I'm a mother. I'll be sitting there looking at him like this, like, whatever. When your mother dies, and you are a mother's person, I promise you, there's nothing on this earth that is going to ever shake you ever again in life. Because the worst thing that could ever happen to me has happened. There's nothing nobody can say to me. There's nothing nobody can do to me. And that's why you see that resilience in me, where it's just like whatever. And I had that whatever attitude. Right. Because my mother's dead. It's like the ultimate has happened, so you can say whatever you want to top that. I don't care. The world could blow the fuck up, honey. And I'll be sitting there like, okay, can I have my cup of coffee? Right. Because the worst thing that could ever happen has happened. Right. Like, you may think about it as a kid, like, oh my God, what if my mom dies? Or, oh my God, like, but when it happens, it prepares you for when it happens. And then it just happened like overnight.
And see, I'm always told that, your mother passing away is nothing. Your father passing away is nothing like when your mother passed
away. Because when your mom passed, I felt it. You saw I cried when I watched my father's funeral. When your mom dies, I don't even care. Even if you don't have a good relationship with her, it's like a piece of you is gone. Yeah. I don't care where you at. You will know when your mother dies. That woman gave you life for 9 months. And it's like when her last breath is taken, something in you clicks off. And you like, well, me and Tracy saw my mother that day. She was dead when we first went to see her. As soon as we saw her, we was like, something ain't right, something wrong. We was pulling up her eye, Mom, answer me. Mom, move your hand. Mom, do this, Mom. And we both standing there. I said, Tracy, something ain't right. Tracy said, Joe, something ain't right. Something ain't right. We knew something wasn't right. And then like 3 hours later, we got a call. She was dead. But she was already dead. When we went in there, she was dead. But when I got that call, I said, both of us was like, Tracy and Joe, something ain't right. I said, I know, something ain't right. We didn't know what it was, but we just, because we had went and ate and was laughing and having a good time. And Tracy said when she threw away the garbage, she said, Joe, I swear to God, it was like Mommy was standing behind me. And she said, if I see y'all laughing and having a good time, I know y'all will be all right. She said, Joe, I didn't pay no mind. Right after that is when I got the call that my mother was dead. Wow. And it was like, she didn't even hear. The doctor just told me, did you leave yet? I said, no. And he was like, well, I think you need to stay. And she looked in my face and just fell out on the floor. I didn't even want to hear him say it. Like, I was like, why? And he was like, because your mom just, I was like, okay. And in that instant, I heard my mother's voice say, you're a crybaby. You cry for everything. Keep it together. Tracy was a mess. She was a little mess. Deja fell out next to her. It's not funny. It's funny now to me, but it wasn't funny that day. When Tracy fell out on the floor, because she was sitting in the chair, she just fell out on the floor, screaming, no, 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 she was supposed to get better, no, no. And Deja fell out on her knees next to Tracy crying. And then my brother-in-law is looking like, who do I get, my wife or my daughter? I said, you get the little one, I got the big one. I picked Tracy up, I walked into the chair I was sitting in, I said, now, that's why I'm saying nothing can shake me, because just like on the inside, I wanted to die. But on the outside, I was like, pull your motherfucking self together. Right. Who was your mother? Right. Would your mother be laid out on the goddamn floor acting like you? She said, you know what? You're absolutely right. What we got to do? I said, you together? I said, because you upset my little niece. She said, I know Wednesday's I said, Carl, your husband died. You got yourself together? She said, yeah. I said, okay, we got to call 5 brothers and sisters. You together? You want me to do it or you want to do it? She said, you can do it. I said, okay, you good? She said, I'm good. I said, okay. And with that, I knew as long as I kept it together, she was going to keep it together. Right. So it became hard. And that's why I was in mourning, because I never had a chance to just let go. Right. She had a chance to let go. She had a chance to feel it. I never had that. I never had that until my mother died in October. I didn't go to work because my back was hurt. And I was just home watching TV. And I was laying on the couch. And I was doing just like this, rocking like this. And I just went into the fetal position on the couch. And I just screamed out loud, I want my mom. And that's when I lost it. That was when I was able to feel everything Tracy felt. That I lost my best friend. What am I going to do? And then it just went downhill from there. Right. Because it was like, oh my God, what am I going to do? And I never dealt with it. Right. Food, you see the pictures. When my mother died, child, I was fat as a pig because I would come home and cook. Yeah, you were a big guy. Yeah. And I looked at the picture when I got my new job. And I said, oh my God, why did they let me get like this? Oh no, this ain't going to work. I'm more vain than I was mourning. And even then, you know, y'all gotta stop with the God is gonna fix it. Because
Jesus will fix it. Let me tell you something. Jesus will fix it, but what people have to understand is that God is only a part of it. God, your life is part prayer, and prayer is motivation, and then the other part is trusting in what God has put before you to help you. And that's what you have to do. You have to do that. You have to put. That's what it is. That's what the elders didn't say. The elders didn't say that, you know,
but they
you
did,
pray.
You know, they said, no. They came up with this saying because it ain't in the Bible. Right. God helps those who help themselves, but they don't help themselves. Right. They just sit back and wait on God. Yeah. And that ain't gonna work.
That's not how it works. It's part prayer, and the other part is you trusting that God has put the tools and the people, the professionals before you that are going to help you. That's what you have to. That's what you have to. That's how you have to think. I cannot tell you how many people are in mental institutions, that are in hospitals. I mean, that are in jail because they did not take care of their mental health.
Melissa, let me say this to you, because you heard my story. The same thing happened with me and my sister. But you know what? I think if you look at it this way, that she was able to go on to the other side because she was at peace with the fact that she saw you when she saw you and she felt you would be okay. And that's how I told my sister to take it, because my sister felt the same way. Like, had we stayed there, she probably would have died while we were there, but we had left. So, you know, I was going back to Maryland, and she was going to go on with her day. And she felt bad because she said Mommy died by herself. I said she didn't. I said Mommy died when she saw the two of us together. She saw that we were okay, and she felt it was time to go. And she was okay with leaving because she felt we were okay. I said, so don't look at it that she died alone. She waited till she saw us. She waited till she saw it was okay.
You know I hate that
and
word.
then she left.
What? You know I hate that word. I hate the word death. I hate the word death, and I hate the
No,
word
but you
die.
heard what I said, move
why.
on.
Right. This is why I hate the word death and I hate the word die. Because a person only dies if you allow them to.
Right. Because
people don't die. You don't die. You never die. The spirit and the soul never dies. Now the body is a vessel. We have to understand that. And this is how I look at death. This is how I look at death. No matter what. And I don't care if it's my mother, my father, I don't care who it is. This is how I look at death. The body is a vessel. This body that I'm in, one day it's going to decay and it's going to be gone. Period.
Right. That's a better word. Transition.
Right. It's going to be gone. My body's deteriorating now. I have kidney disease. I got diabetes. It's deteriorating now. I just said it to you.
Actually, your
Joseph, I was
body
like, Joseph,
from the minute you were born.
Right. I was like, Joseph, I'm dying right now. You know what I'm saying? But the spirit of me, my spirit and my soul, is going to live on. Because that's what God is all about. Your spirit lives on. When we leave this earth, when this body is gone, we just go on to a new journey. We don't know what that journey is, but we go on to a new journey. But we as people, like I said, we as people have been conditioned to believe that when you die, you have this funeral and you lay in this. They put you in this coffin. They put you in the ground, and that's it.
But it's not.
You know what I'm saying?
It's not so much that.
My elders are around me.
But wait,
my
it's not
family
so
is
much
around
that.
me all the time.
And I get everything you're saying is true. And like my mother is always around me because she lives on in my heart.
Yeah, she's
that's what I'm saying. She lives on in my heart. But it's the selfish human side of you that says, "I miss you. I want you here with me.
Right.
I don't ever want you to leave me.
Right.
Like, why did you have to go?" So I think it's not that most people don't know.
We got to take ourselves out that frame of mind.
Right. It's more of a selfish thing. Like,
it is.
I want you here with me. I know you're here with me.
It's not even a selfish thing. It's
but
just
I want to be able to
sit
and talk. Like, I would love to be able to sit and have a conversation with my mother.
And
in actuality, I could have a conversation with her whenever I want. Yeah. And sometimes I do. Yeah. I talk to my mother in my head. Sometimes like, Mom, why? Where are you at? I need you. I didn't make no decisions without calling my mother. I said, Mom, what do you think about this? So now that I'm like sitting here going, okay, if my mother would have been alive, I would have said, Mom, I want to marry Tramel. She already knows. She would say, so what you telling me for? Because you're going to do whatever you want anyway. Right. That was always her response to everything I say. I said, no, but you might say something that makes sense. And she goes, okay. And she would tell me sometimes she would change my mind. Other times I'd be like, you're right, I'm going to do what I want to do. Because it just didn't fall in line with what I felt in my spirit. Right. But it's the selfish side of us and that wants them here. Right. Even though we know, I know. I know. Like the day we got married, I know my mother saw it. I know she was watching. Right. I know she was proud of me. I know all of that. But at the same time, I want her physically here. It's us. It's we that keep those that have passed on. Right. It's us that keeps them alive. You have to keep them alive. You have to look at them in the perspective of that. The vessel is gone, but the spirit is still there. Like my dad, I tell you all the time, Joseph, what do I do all the time when we're in bed? I always lose the remote control. What I tell you, my nephew Calvin always moves the remote control. And everybody be looking at me like I'm crazy. But Joseph, I can have the remote control right here. Sitting right here. And I'll just look up. I'll be like, okay, where's the remote? I can't find it. It's my nephew Calvin. Because he was that type of kid. He was mischievous like that. He would do stuff like that. He would take the remote control and move it to the other side of the bed. That's how he was. My nephew. My father, the same thing. I think about there's not a day that goes by. My father been dead for 32 years. There's not a day that goes by I don't think about him. Not one day that goes by I don't think about him. He and laugh about him. Because my father was this serious type of man. He would look at me. He would look at me like this, Joseph. He would go just like this. And look at me. That's all he would do. He would just look at me. He wouldn't say not a word. And I just get such a kick out of thinking about him. And sometimes I say to him, I wonder how would you feel about me if you was here? Right.
You know what I'm saying? And he answers me back and he would say, "Son, I'm proud of you." That's what he would say. He would be like, "I'm proud of you."
No,
if I asked him, he would be like, "I'm
the same
proud of you."
thing. We'll see things that we know my mother would have liked, and we'll be like, she'll be like, "Joe, mommy," I said, if she was a child, she would have drove us crazy trying to figure out how to do this. And that's how they live on, because you don't never forget.
We got to keep them alive. We got to keep these people that we love that have passed on. We have to keep them alive and realize that the body that they were in is no longer. It was a vessel. It was a shell. It's just like a butterfly turning into, coming out of the cocoon.
That I don't agree with. And y'all, we not trying to depress anybody, because I know a lot of people are in my situation in the chat.
But this message is for Lisa Schumann. It actually is for Lisa Schumann, because I know that she's experiencing something right now. I know her aunt passed away. Her aunt passed away, and this is why we're talking about people passing on.
But still, it's somebody that needs to hear this, whether they're in the chat now or they come and watch it later, because every time we talk about something, somebody somewhere goes, "I needed to hear that."
Right.
So, it's one thing that I don't believe in, and I've never done since, it will be 11 years this year that my mother's been dead. I can't just go visit a grave.
No, me neither.
I've
not been to my father's grave since the funeral.
Like, I don't know how, once I left, I had no intention of going back. Even my sister, she's a Joe, I'm not.
Like my sister, she goes to her son's grave every year. No, I'm not doing that.
I can't, because for me,
it's not that I don't love him. It's just that I don't believe that my father is out there. He's not out there.
For me, I believe it's too much hurt. For me, and I'm not saying for anybody else. For me, it's too much hurt, and it's feel like I'm not letting go. And at some point, when somebody passes, you have to let go. In order for you to move on in your life.
No, she's not out there.
No, what I'm saying is let go. You have to let go of the earthly part.
Right.
Which is the grave.
The vessel.
And right. You have to let go of that and hold on to the spirit. Yes. But let go of that. And I've watched people on YouTube go with a broom and sweep. Why are you sweeping dirt over a grave?
Right.
Like, it doesn't make sense to me.
Right.
If it makes sense to them, I'm not knocking nobody for what they do. That's your parents. That's your brother, sister, cousin, whoever.
Right.
For me, it's like, okay, my mother's there. But that's that body. Like you said, that's her body.
That's it.
But she's not there.
Right. Like, Joseph, I love you, right? But you're nothing without your spirit. You're absolutely nothing. That's what I love about you. I love your spirit. I love your personality. I love what makes you you. What makes you you is everything that comes, the sound of your voice,
right?
The beat of your heart, the sound of your breath. That's what makes you you. And none of that can't be without your spirit. And your spirit never dies. So if, Lord God forbid, if something happened to you today and I had to bury you today, if I had to bury you today, I'm going to smile. I'm still going to smile, because I'm going to think about all the things that just made me happy about you. I'm like my father, like I said, I've not been to my father's grave. My father died in 1990. I've not been to his grave since the funeral, because I don't believe that he's out there. He's not out there. The vessel that he was in is in a coffin, and it's buried in the ground. He's not there.
But it's like reliving it over and over, because once you go, your mind is going to relive it.
Some people get traumatized by that.
I can't put myself through that.
Like my sister, my oldest nephew, he gets traumatized every year that comes around the anniversary, and I don't understand why they do this. And y'all, with all due respect to my family, because I love my family, you know how much I go hard for my family, but I don't understand why they put themselves through the trauma of going out to my nephew's grave. My nephew is traumatized by it. When I tell you he's traumatized by it, he picks up the phone every year. He calls me. He's like, "Uncle Creed." He's like, "I'm just sitting here, and he said, I miss my brother. I miss my brother. I went out to
it's
the grave,
too much.
And I miss him. I miss him. I'm like, Jamar. I'm like, it's gonna be okay. He's not there. I said, you just have to remember the good time. I told my mother. My mother always says about, oh God, all my friends are dead. They're gone. Yes, they're gone. But what about the memory of them? Think about that, and that will make you smile. You know, I think about my father was just like Fred Sanford.
Melissa.
My father used to act just like Fred Sanford. Okay, and every time I think about him in that sense. He used to say things like, "Tramel, I'll knock your cola in a milkshake," or he would say, "I bet you $5 to a donut." And I would, you know, he had all these little sayings that he would say. One time he told my mother, because my mother's husband was Jamaican. He said, "Carolyn," and it was in an argument. He said, "Carolyn, all you gotta do is drop a dime on that nigga, and he'll be back in Jamaica before they can say Bob Marley." He would say stuff like that, and so you know that's what makes me laugh about him. That's what keeps his memory alive for me. You know, my father he's not dead. His spirit has just moved on to another place. And when I feel the need to speak to him, when I feel when I want to feel his presence, I just ask for him. I just call his name, and he's right here next to me.
And Melissa, you're right, because I feel the same way. I did what I was supposed to do. We got my mother a casket that we know if she was alive, she would have approved of.
Mm-hmm.
And we put her away. We left a message, and there was a wait child. I had to stop my sister because she was about to spend up all the money. We left the message in there. It was this big thing that went in there. We left the message there. We gave her a little flower with my niece's name on it. We did everything we were supposed to do with that coffin before they put it in the ground. She went away like a queen, like that's how she lived. You know, I didn't put her diamonds on her because that wasn't going to happen because I didn't trust in people like that.
Well, but she went away. Anyway.
We did buy her some fake ones to put on, but the real ones
they don't let you do that anyway.
They told us to give them any jewelry that we wanted to put on her, but we went and got fake jewelry, and because Tracy was gonna do it. I said, "No, girl, get some fake diamonds and put them on. Don't keep those for yourself." And you know, like you said, I put her away in a way that I was proud. My sister was proud. And that's it for me. I can't relive that over and over by going to a grave and just. What do? You just stand there and then.
Yeah, you stand there and you don't say anything.
Or right. You stand there or you talk to them. But I can do that at home.
Right.
I don't need to be reminded. Oh my God! And then I'm reminded. I'm like, oh my God.
There's no absolution.
See me, I'm gonna be sitting there going, well, is she skin and bones yet?
Yeah.
Like, did the worms get it? And first of all, my mother didn't even want to be buried. So that was the part that upset me. But I wasn't going to fight with my sister because she was not present for the conversation when my mother said she wanted to be burned. She never heard it. So I told her Mommy wanted to be cremated. Now, I never heard her say that. And I'm like, okay, but let's call Aunt Winnie because she was there for the conversation. Now, I'm not burying my mother. Okay. I left it alone. And then, after the fact, she's like, well, maybe we should have, because we could have kept the ashes and made a necklace. And well, girl, I wasn't going to argue.
It's too late to argue.
My mama did, honey. I ain't got time to be arguing with nobody. Child, whatever you want. And that's how, what my attitude was, whatever you want. Because at this point, nothing's going to bring my mama. If it's going to bring my mama back, then we can stand there and fight all goddamn day. But if that ain't bringing her back, child, whatever you want. But I already know she told me don't let you spend up all the money. That she told me. So that you're not going to do. Because living to Tracy, honey, my mother had a $50,000 funeral. I was that. She needs this. She needs. I said, no. You're already at $25,000, girl. No. This is too much. She ain't even want this much. My mother was very. Child, just bury me.
Listen, my mama told me, she already told her, she said, go find somebody at the Mac counter, put me some makeup on and fix my wig. She said, put me in the ground. She said, don't be spending
listen, you better wipe them tears and keep a smile because it's the truth.
That girl. Is, yeah, wipe them tears, girl.
But see, Melissa's is new, so I get it. Because when mine was new, it's like, child, I would have moments where I just
you got to find some type of absolution. That's why she's mourning, because you have to find some type of absolution.
Well, no,
Melissa, this is what you got to do. This is what you got to do, Melissa. You really have to do this. You have to focus in on the great things. Is it her mother that passed away? You got to focus in, and you got to hone
well, no,
in.
No, she had the same experience like me. She went and saw her mom at like 9:16, and then at 10 o'clock she died. So she felt like her mother died alone. But when I said, like I told her, her mother was okay with dying. Once she saw her. Because the same thing happened to us.
Listen, and let me tell you something about a mother's love and a parent's love. When they pass, don't think of them as dying alone, because they didn't die alone. I'm telling you, the moment that she crossed over, she was standing right next to you. She was right there next to you. And she knew you would be okay. Yeah, and she knew that you would be okay. Yeah, you got to think about it this way. Your mother always wanted to make sure you are okay. And this goes for anybody whose mom is already even dead. Your mom always wanted to make sure you was okay. She always made sure my baby is good. Yeah. You have to look at it as when they cross over, that's when they realize. And they ain't going nowhere until they know that you're all right. Because when my father passed away. I told my sister that. I kept telling her, I said, Tracy, one thing I know for sure, two things I know for certain. Mommy is not going to die with you in New Jersey and me in Maryland. That's right. I knew my mother was not going to die. If she wouldn't, she may have. If she didn't, if she thought when I was on my way back home, if she thought that she was capable of handling it, she would have. That's like. Let me tell you something. I think it was more. She even said, if it was me, she would have left alone. You know what my father's last words were? She held on for Tracy. You know what my father's last words were? He said, "I'm getting ready to go." That's what he said. He said, "I'm getting ready to go." He said to my aunt, he said, "You from me, I'm getting ready to go." And that was it. You know what that was it, because he had sat there and he had told me all these things. He had explained to me what the insurance policies were, and if this happened, this is what to do. And he told me this to do, and he told me to call my sister. He told me all this stuff, and then he said, "I'm getting ready to go." He said, "I'm getting ready to go," and that was it. He was gone. But when But your parents don't leave here. Your parents, let me tell you something. When you are a mother or when you are a father, the most important thing to them is you. The most important thing to them is you. You, their children. They ain't going nowhere until they know that you are okay, or until they know that you're going to be okay. And you know what taught me to calm down too? Because I didn't realize that your feelings and emotions really affected you on the inside. Oh, yeah. And they had just gave my mother calming stuff to calm her down and what have you, because they put her in a coma. Right. And I got there and I said, "Mom, you okay?" And she was still comatose then. And she shook her head. And then she realized, wait a minute, I know that voice. So I could see the look on her face like, I said, "It's me, I'm here." And she just grabbed my hand and she started rubbing my hand because she had a tube down her throat so she couldn't talk. All of a sudden, all the machines lit up and started beeping and carrying on. And the nurse was like, "What are you doing?" I said, "First of all, bitch, don't come in here yelling at me. That's number one." Number two, I'm her son and I live in Maryland. And she realized from my voice that I'm here. Right. "Oh no, because we just gave her something to calm her down." And I said, "She's excited because I'm here." I was like, "She'll calm down." And the last thing my mother ever said to me was she wanted something. She pointed, she wanted something to drink. And I said, "Mom, I can't give you nothing to drink because you got a tube down your throat." And that was it. That was it. That was the last thing for a whole week. And then after that, she died. But that showed me that just in your everyday life, you need to be careful. Because your feelings and emotions will set you off on the inside and you don't even realize it. The only time sometimes you realize, because you know when you get mad, your heart starts pumping, everything starts racing. But I didn't know that excitement and happiness has the same reaction as anger. Which always leads to anxiety and anxiety attacks. And guys, I'm telling you, anxiety is just running rampant in our community. And that's why you need to speak to your doctor. If you are experiencing heart palpitations, or you're experiencing too much overwhelmingness, or you're feeling too excited about something, seek out help. Talk to your doctor about these symptoms that you're having. If you're feeling awkward in any type of way, Talk to your doctor about these things. That y'all, my coffee is
And at the
found a
end
child.
of the day, let me tell y'all something. Everybody that we have lost is in a much better place than we are.
It's sure enough our child.
They ain't dealing with coronavirus.
They ain't got no bills.
Most of our mothers probably was sick.
They ain't got to worry about no credit.
We ain't got to worry about them catching corona.
They ain't got to worry about paying no
They
car
ain't got to worry
insurance.
about no bills. They ain't got to worry about
They ain't got to worry about paying no damn rent.
They ain't got to worry about none of the things we sit here and worry about.
Mm-hmm.
So we worried about people that's better off than we are right now.
Uh-huh.
We sitting here crying and sad about people that's better off than we are right now.
Mm-hmm.
And at the end of the day, you know, like Melissa said, my mother come to me in dreams sometimes, honey, and she be trying to get me to go with her. I be like, girl, I love you, but I ain't ready to go yet.
Okay.
I ain't going with you nowhere. I'll see you one day, but I ain't ready to go with you now. So you just go on and tiptoe through the tulips, girl.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's my mother. And I could, in the dream, she laughs. Because that she knows if she was alive, that would be something I'd tell her.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just, you know,
mm-hmm.
I got over it.
Yeah.
It was hard. It was years, but I got over it. Because at the end of the day, she ain't never coming back.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, she ain't going.
Not here.
But she ain't coming back down here.
Not here.
I ain't never gonna be.
She might be here. She might be reincarnated. If there's such thing as reincarnation
is real, then
yeah,
so be it. But
Becky might be somebody's child or something.
If Becky came back, Becky used to love birds. So she's some bird flying somewhere.
Right, she might be some bird flying somewhere. Hey, Becky.
She loves bird.
Yes, but y'all listen. And I got to do this, Joseph. I'm paying homage to our friend to the show, Lips. Here's my nails, Lips. Here's my nails. You like my nails? Everybody like my nails? Y'all, I want y'all to send me a message. What I was thinking about getting some color on at least one nail, right? What color? Do y'all think I should get some color? And if y'all do think I should get some color, what color do y'all think I should get? I was thinking about doing my thumb. See, I got a little bling on my thumb. Y'all see that? Got a little bling on my thumb. Where's the camera at? It's over here. Is it over here or is it over here? You see, I got a little bling on my thumb, right? Do y'all think I should get some color, or do y'all think I should just keep it natural, like I got it now? It's just natural. These are This is called the natural look, right? So y'all send me an email.
I was going to say the same thing. She said red because it's your favorite color.
Yes, I love red. I was thinking about doing at least one nail.
Candy apple red, and it should be your ring finger.
Yes, I was thinking about just doing one nail. I don't want color on all my nails.
Melissa said the same thing.
But I was thinking about doing color on one nail. I don't know which finger. I ain't know if I want to do the thumb or do the pinky or do my ring finger or what. But I was thinking about doing one nail on each hand in color, or getting a design on it or something like that, like a nice design on it or something like that. So y'all send me an inbox and let me know what y'all think, okay? But y'all, I'm out of coffee. Joseph, Joseph still got coffee. I'm out of coffee, child.
I'll never drink coffee.
Yeah, I'm out of coffee. So this is the end of Kitchen Table Talk, and thank you guys for joining us. If you like this segment, send us a message. Send us a message. Yes, send us a message if you like this segment of Kitchen Table Talk. If you like Kitchen Table Talk, send us a message and let us know that you like Kitchen Table Talk.
When we have coffee.
Yeah.
So we just included y'all in our normal conversation.
Yeah.
These are the conversation me and Tramel have with each other.
Mm-hmm.
So we just felt like we should put this on video.
Right.
Sometimes our conversations be deep like today.
Yeah.
And they be good.
Mm-hmm.
And be like, it could benefit somebody, some of the things we talk about.
Right.
Yes, we could read all day long. Yes, we make you laugh all day long.
Yeah.
But sometimes people need to hear serious stuff.
Right.
Like Reese Cup says, she cry every time we talk about it, or she mute us because she don't want to cry.
Uh-huh.
But sometimes you need to.
Yeah.
Sometimes you need to get that out. Because as long as you hold it in, you're holding something in that needs to be released. Mm-hmm. So it's a good thing. Yeah. I don't want to make you cry. I don't. Because I've been there. I've been to the point where I couldn't talk about my mother without crying, or at least welling up like I wanted to cry.
Right.
So me being able to do this now, it just comes from talking about it, releasing it, and it gets better. Right. I'm not going to say it goes away, because it never goes away, but it gets better with time. And one of my friends, his mom just passed, and I said, I wish I could tell you that it goes away. I said it never goes away.
Right,
it gets
right.
better.
It does.
What will go away is the thinking about it all the time, and thinking about your mom all the time,
Yeah.
and waking up and thinking about it.
Mhm.
That goes away.
Right.
But the feeling of the pain and the hurt and the missing them, it just gets better. It never goes away.
Right. And you know what I have to say, you have to, like I said, you got to think about the good times. You got to think about the things that you never thought that you would think about, like the way your mother walked, or the way she talked, or the way she was in the kitchen and she was making collard greens, or you know, you got to think of those times.
I even think of some of the things that I did that pissed her off.
Yeah.
She would yell at me for.
Yeah.
Now I laugh at it. I'm like, well, she was pissed, honey. She just cursed me out.
Yeah, that's what you got to do. You got to those are the things that you have to center in on, and that's the energy that you have to you have to grasp, and that will get you through. It will get you through when you need to get through. With that being said, guys, just make sure you're watching us on all social media platforms. Of course, you know what those are.
Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and of course right here on YouTube. Hit that like and subscribe button. And please share us out and tell a friend about the Kingz. Again, thank you to all the new subscribers that have joined our page. We appreciate you, and we hope that you stay and you like our content. And also, if you want to become a lord or a lady or a knight at our round table,
hit that join button.
Hit that join button.
Hit it.
Hit that join button and become part of the Kingz Kingdom in our round table.
Be a king.
Also, you can check out our Kingz merchandise and out there to be different merchandise by going to our Kingz boutique and purchasing something. And when we come back and have coffee, you can have coffee with the Kingz for real. Put a picture of me and Tremel on your mug.
That's right.
Also, please, you see our Cash App in the bottom left. Please feel free to help support the Kingz platform. Any donation you make will go back into the platform.
Yes, and we need your support.
And as you see, we listen to you guys. You guys wanted to see us, and we're on camera for you today.
Yes, we are.
There was no particular reason but that we were on hiatus while we wasn't on camera, because we go live in some of the most inopportune places sometimes. And we don't think you want to see us laying in the bed or just sitting somewhere, you know, doing whatever. But you guys want to see us, so we heard your
We're
call.
here.
You said it, so we're giving you what you want. So that goes to show. We do listen when you send us comments and requests. So keep them coming.
Keep them coming.
Let us know if you like the new segments that we're doing, because we're
and don't forget about my nails. Don't forget about my nails.
Just put it in the comment section, and we're trying new things out for season 5 of the Kingz that will start on July 1st.
Yes.
So we wanted you to, that's why we do different segments. That's why everything we're doing is not the same like it was last year when we was going live every day, because we're trying new things to see what you guys like. So please, in the comment section of all the videos that are different, that we're doing different, let us know if you like the commentaries that we do on reviews on shows, if you like the commentaries when we do celebrity news, if you like the conversations like this, whatever you like, leave it in the comment section. Let us know that you like it, so that going forward we can continue doing these type of things.
Yes.
We want to give you the content that you want to see from us.
Right.
Not just sit back and make content that we feel is what you want to see. We want to give you what you want, as like I said. And on that note, y'all, we love you guys.
Yes.
Like I told you last night, and as you see today, we just can't stay away. We can't even go on hiatus and enjoy the hiatus. But we love you guys.
Yes, we do. We love you
guys, each and every individual one of you. So please, always remember, if nobody loves you, and nobody told, well, I'm not going to say if nobody loves you, but if nobody told you they love you today, Jamel and I love you, and there's nothing you can do about it.
That's right.
And always
That's right.
To walk in love, peace, sunshine, and happiness. Keep your head up, smile. Because when you walk in love, peace, and happiness, your loved ones that have passed on are right with you. So on that note, do I be at every show? Do I need to say it?
Yes.
It's Team McGrath.
All damn day.
Later, y'all.
Talk to you soon.
Bye-bye.